So I know you're wondering, what's with this damn get up? Well, what's up with this damn get up is, y'all aren't used to seeing me, even when I am working on the cars, but I feel like I need to start erring more on the side of caution when I do work on the car and stuff. So that's what's with the get up, basically speaking. But what am I doing with the car today? Which, by the way, here's a bonus clip for you explaining the current situation, kind of. Alright, so here's the current situation. I am in the Nissan Versa. I'm on my way to Tier 1 Graphics out in Mooresville, and I'm just going to take them up there to get them wrapped. So that is the current situation in this vlog. Anyway, that basically explains, I haven't been driving this thing for the past week, and that's why. I have no taillights. I still don't have taillights right now. Wrap shop is closed today. I picked the worst possible timing to go and get this thing wrapped, but it's going to be simple, but it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to look damn good, what I have planned with that. I mean, you already know it's going to be matte black, but if you watch my other video, but that's neither here nor there. There's a little matte black surround. They're kind of packed. They told me up front too, they were kind of packed and busy at the moment with a few projects anyway. So my tail lights probably going to be a little bit of time, but hopefully I don't end up missing the Z-Max race, but we'll see. I might end up missing it again this year. Next year, damn it, I'm going to mark it on my calendars, and I'm going to make sure I don't schedule some stupid shit that I can't have done in time. But today, let's come back to present day. Today, what I'm doing today. What am I doing today? Well, you see I have a new jack here. I got myself a jack finally. I decided, fuck it, I'm just going to get myself a 3-ton low profile car jack. Just because, I figured it'd be a good idea to get low profile in case I needed low profile in the future for other projects or whatever. I'll still probably end up having to go get another jack even for those, knowing my luck. But all digression aside, today I'm jacking the front of the car up. I already jacked the rear of the car up earlier. Look at that. So much more even now. This one's all nice and straight, just like this one has been the entire time. So that's what I did there. I didn't film it. Wasn't anything exciting. I just wanted to kind of just do it and be done with it. Now I guess you could say the same applies to this one too, but on the same, not really, because I feel like this is the finale or the final touch to another video that I made a little while back when I installed the Corsa Performance Airbox. If you remember, there was a little scoop that came with it that goes on the underside of the car that I never installed. I never got around to installing it even off camera. So I figured, hell, go ahead and get this. There's no real official jack point. I mean, there is, but there isn't. I mean, it's not like a rubber round stop like it is at the back. You'll notice at the back of the Challenger, there's that little hanging down round protrusion right there. Little black rubber thing. That's a specific point for the car jack. Well, there's nothing like that on the front. So I'm just gonna use this board and I'm gonna jack it up on the frame right there. gotta say, not a super huge fan of how this board is looking, and no, I'm not going to be stupid and put it on a jack and work on it. Yeah, it's moving. Okay. But yeah, I'm not gonna work on it while it's jacked up on just a jack. That would be absolutely a fucking terrible idea. Now, as I was saying before, while I was under the duress of the creaking board, why don't I just drive these, drive this car up on the ramps like you're supposed to? Well, see, I would do that, but I haven't once, with like every time I've tried to, I haven't once had a real good run of luck with it. Once was when I was installing the exhaust over at my cousin's. You remember how that went.
A little bit back. Right there. I got excited for a second.
I was trying to tighten up something on the exhaust. That was the other time. Which was also another video. So those were 2 times. Now there's a 3rd time. I'm pretty sure I never talked about it, and I certainly never documented it, but it was here at the house, and I think this is what scared me away from them. Unless I have like a paved official garage area, I don't think I'm really keen on driving them up on ramps like this ever again. And that was here at home after I first got these Rhino ramps. And what had happened there is I set the Rhino ramps up and I tried to drive up onto them, and I wasn't quite giving it enough gas to get it up on the ramp. So I gave it a little bit more gas, not much, just a tiny bit more, and then it ended up running right over this lip. That's why you have some cracks in it, and why it looks all beat up and stuff. I ended up going right over it, and I almost couldn't stop it before it ran right into the house. It didn't run into the house, it almost did though. And I was barely able to stop it in time. Like, I was probably a good, I don't know, 5 feet from hitting the house. And I think after that I'm like, you know what? Unless I have an actual paved area and not dirt, which 9 times out of 10 I seem to have dirt, I'm not doing anything like that. So that's why I'm jacking the car up and then putting the ramp under it as kind of a support. So yeah, story time's over. Now we'll get to the whole meat and potato shit. This skid plate right here, the skid plate here is going to have to come off on this side. Well, I did get the skid plate here. I got it off. And then I got over here and I got looking up. Got looking up through my tube here, and I saw what looked like a hose clamp inside of the tube. I'm like, like it looked like the side of one of these just down, up there in my tube. I'm just like, the hell is there a hose clamp just idly hanging around up in the top of my... I'll give y'all one guess as to what that is. If if you guessed that that is where my air filter had come loose and is just rolling around in the air box, you would be correct. That is exactly what that is. That is where my airbox's filter has been loose for God knows how long. I love my Corsa cold air intake. I do. There is one problem though. Now, to reattach this filter, I'm going to have to loosen this up, and then I'm going to have to take that off, unplug this, flip it up, pop it back on, tighten it back down, then do everything I just did in reverse. So that's basically the big pain in the ass with a closed box intake in that kind of case. But I'm kind of having second thoughts about even bothering with that snorkel. You know? Kind of.
I mean, you've done good all this time without it.
Yeah, but I could, I don't know, maybe there's a little bit of benefit to be had from it. I don't know. I just kind of want to, so it's, that way it's complete, but I might not, because like I say, this is enough trouble as it is. Then you mean every time, like if the fucking, you know what I mean, if the filter becomes loose again, then what I got to do is I got to remove the skid plate, remove the snorkel, remove this tube, remove this bolt, remove this tube, pull this out, fight with the filter and reattach it. It's just, I don't know. Alright, air filter is now successfully reattached. I actually had a little bit of an easier time reattaching it, a little bit, just a tiny bit easier time this time than I did the first time I put it around the ring on the inside. It was a real pain in the ass, and I really just don't know how most people could do it. I do, like I say, I like my Corsa cold air intake, but it really could use a little bit of a redesign, maybe a simpler redesign than what they've got going on now. But regardless, it's in there. We're all reattached. We're good. I mean, yeah, you can probably maybe see in there that it's all good now. It's reattached. It's in place now. As far as the snorkel, I got thinking about the snorkel. I was thinking about it while I was working on that and how to best maybe go about this. And I was thinking maybe of kind of making a kind of compromise, an in-between, but I won't bother. Ow! Freaking head. But I don't think I'll bother with the attachment point. Like, I don't know how well you can see any of this, but there's like a little bolt. Like right here's your fog light, and then right here is where they want you to attach this little metal piece on the side of the scoop to the body, as well as it being attached up here. I'm thinking about foregoing the snorkel, the attachment point to the body here. I'm thinking about foregoing that part and just attaching it to the tube up here. Now the worst thing that could, the worst case scenario is that comes loose while I'm driving and it falls off into the skid plate here and rattles around for a little bit until I scoop it out of there and say forget it. Alright, well that took entirely longer than it should have, until I finally realized what angle I needed to approach it from in terms of hand tightening the bolt. And then after I hand tightened it enough where it'd hold in place, I went in with the screwdriver, and it seems pretty secure. It's kind of going to move around a little bit, but that's fine. It's not, I think I'll be all right without. Oh god, it went down my shirt. And another thing I want to keep this airbox easily detachable for is because I do have some ideas coming up, some things that I'm going to be putting into this thing that's going to require me to remove the airbox yet again, amongst other things. So basically, yeah, I just don't want to go through a big old pain in the ass of removing all this other shit, and then I get to remove the airbox. Just loosen up a couple hoses up there, and voila, airbox is off. That's where I want to be at. Let's just see how well this does before my battery dies. It's about to, so it'll be dead. If it's dead, I won't be able to do the outro until later. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the outro now. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I have social medias linked in the description below my videos as well. You follow me on those and you get cool pictures on my Instagram, as well as just alerts when I go live that way as well. And I will see you all in the passenger seat next ride, and it's going to be awesome. Just trust me on that. We're getting back into the car stuff here, okay? We're getting back into it finally.